Today is Nikki Ryan Will's birthday, and she requested black beans with treat meat and cornbread in the crock pot, so that's what I'm doing. So we've got our black beans. These were $1.19 at Dollar General. We've got our juicy corn mix. This was 59 cents. We have our shelf-stable low-fat milk. This is $1.25. We have our treat meat. This is normally $1.89 a can. However, I got that from the food bank. And we have our Kroger cream of mushroom soup, which is usually about $1.29. But again, I got that free from the food bank as well. We're going to put all this in the crock pot. We've got our liner here. And first thing I'm going to do is sanitize my hands. Now, as usual, we're going to put a liner in the crock pot because that always seems to make a big difference in the cleaning. And our crock pot is old, so it has stains on it, etc. The liner just makes cleanup easier and it protects our food. And the liners are not that expensive. I consider them an investment worth getting. I pay $13 for 30 of them on Walmart.com. And that's not bad because it saves me a lot of time and a lot of money on cleanup. See, the liner's in there. All set. Now we're going to add our black beans. The beans are just plain black beans. Nothing fancy about them. I'm going to add them in a nice even layer in there. And we're going to add our water. Now, we add enough water to make the beans float. You don't want to go crazy on the water. About like that. It's just to make the beans float. And we're going to stir them around like so. As you can see, they're just floating. Now, believe it or not, we make it boil. We make them cook better. We add a little milk. It actually makes them cook quicker and better. Stir that around. Now, we're going to add the treat meat. I'm going to cut it up and add it to the pot in cubes. All right, I cubed up the treat meat, as you can see. Since I touched meat, I'm going to sanitize my hands again. We're going to dump this whole plate of meat right into the crock pot. Get up there, clingy bits. And we're going to stir that in. Now, I'm not adding seasoning to the pot right now because these black beans have to cook for about an hour before I add the cornbread meal. And I will add the seasoning when I add the cornbread. So I'm going to plug this in. I'm going to plug this in. And I'm going to turn it on high. And down here is my lever. That's warm. That's low. That's high. So we're going to put it on high. And we're going to put the lid on. And we're going to let this cook for an hour. Just an hour. And then I'll come back and I'll add the cream of mushroom soup and cornbread mix. We don't have any eggs today, so we're actually going to use our cream of mushroom soup and our milk to mix up the cornbread. It gives it an amazing flavor without the eggs, and it still rises. Mix up the cornbread mix. We need to let it set for a little bit before we add it to the beans. So we're going to put the cream of mushroom soup and the milk in the cornbread mix. I usually use about a half a can of the cream of mushroom soup. You can use cream of chicken. You can use cream of celery. Anything cream of. The cream of soups, they help the cornbread rise, and they really do give it a good flavor. I learned this trick from my grandmother because eggs were expensive when we were kids. Then you're going to add about a quarter of a cup of milk. When you mix this, you're going to fold. You're not going to stir brisk. You're going to fold. And the reason behind this is you want it to incorporate, but you do not want it to get clumpy, and you do not want it to get super, super thin. So we're just going to fold it in. Once it's all fully incorporated, I found a spot that's not mixed. Once it's all fully incorporated, which doesn't take long when you're folding it in, then we're going to let it set for the time that the beans are cooking. We let it set, and it'll kind of rise a little bit. It's cool enough in here that it doesn't go bad in that short of a time. If it was a hot summer day, this would go in the refrigerator to rise. And then when the beans have cooked for an hour, I'll come back and I'll add this to the pot, just like I did before. And I'll also add some of Nikki's favorite seasoning. All right, it's been an hour, and it's time to add the cornbread. But we're also going to add some of Nikki's favorite seasoning. And we're going to stir this. Doesn't that look good? Now we're going to add our cornbread. Now remember what I told you. You add this in glops, just like if you were adding dumplings. And if it spreads out, it's fine. It will bake and come to the surface. All right, that's kind of what you want it to look like. Then you're going to put your lid back on. And you're going to turn this down on low. So one click, turn it down on low. And in about 3 hours, that's going to be absolutely perfect and delicious and ready for dinner. All right, this is what the finished product looks like. Looks really good. We're going to serve it on a deep dish plate. With this, you don't have to cut the cornbread. It comes out with the food. And we're going to serve it with a little dollop of sour cream. There you have it, folks. Black beans with treat meat and creamy mushroom cornbread. All right, let's see what the birthday girl says about it. Good?
Yeah.
All right.